welcome to Hanif Bismi show. Currently, welcome to Hanif Bismi show. Currently, Sydney is under strict lockdown. Hanif Bismi show will observe pandemic protocols and broadcast remotely, according to New South Wales health advice. This episode of Hanif Bismi show will discuss recent election in Iran, 13th presidential election 2021. Since the Islamic Revolution of Iran in 1979 and ousting the dictator Shah, Iran has successfully and continuously elected their presidents through a democratic popular vote. Chapter 9 of the Constitution of Islamic Republic of Iran set forth the qualities of a presidential candidate. The result of 13th presidential election confirmed the victory of Dr. Ibrahim Raisi with 61.95% of the vote. According to various reports, the turnout for this recent election was the lowest since 1979. Dr. Ibrahim Raisi was the chief of National Judiciary. He has a black turban, distinguish him as a Sayyid, who is a direct descendant of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and his progeny. Today on Hanif Bismi show, we have a very special guest who was chief of the Dr. Ibrahim Raisi's presidential election campaigner, Dr. Yahya Jahangiri. On behalf of Hanif Bismi show and 5 News Australia, we welcome Dr. Jahangiri. And thank you for your time and accepting to come online. I know that you're very busy, especially after the election. Dr. Jahangiri is a professor at Shahid Beheshti University, Tehran, and co-rector at the University of Islamic Denomination School. I think I'm right. And he's a very special because he been to the election and he's still working very closely to the president. So we would like to ask a few questions for our audience. So once again, welcome.
My pleasure, Dr. Hanif, to be with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay. My first question on behalf of my Hanif Bismi show, could you please explain what was your role during the recent presidential election as chief campaigner for the international section?
As you know, that I was the head of the international section of the election campaign, and it was the second round of Ayatollah Dr. Raisi to nominate himself as a candidate of the presidential election in Iran. He nominated himself 4 years ago, and this election, it was his second round of the nominating himself as the candidate of the election. In this election, as the head of the international section, we tried to do our best for coordinating the relationship between what is going on in Iran and between the Iranians who are living abroad. You know that we have many Iranians, they are living abroad in Australia, Canada, United States, Europe, and also in West and East. In many countries, they are living in. Almost, it is estimated that almost 10 millions or 7 millions Iranians are living abroad. So this huge number is in need of the relationship and cooperation between Iran and abroad. So I, as the head of the Iranians who are living abroad, the head of this campaign, we try to do our best for the cooperation. And you know that this year the Iranians voted for the president, elected president Ibrahim Raisi. Well,
Okay, thank you very much. And 5 News Australia congratulates the people of Iran for electing new president. My second
thank
question
you.
is, despite the turnouts, what will be the changes in the political spectrum in Iran since the new president came into office?
Actually, you know that almost after 1 month, the new president will launch his power, and he will sit on the chair of the president. Uh, what we predict as what was before is that when we compare the voters to the Ibrahim Raisi, the previous election and this election, we see the high rank of the voters to him. It seems that it shows that in this time, many Iranians accepted that this policy can survive Iranian from the situations they are living in, and can develop Iran for the more developer steps. So what we predict and we hope that you know that even the right wing and left wing we have in Iran as the political parties, we saw that many of them they supported Ibrahim Raisi. So it seems that we will see the unique music of the Iranian motto inside and outside. So we will see that all parties will come together for the progress of Iran in future.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Sorry.
Bless you. I can understand that he received 61.95% of the total vote, which is a big majority, large majority.
You know that, Doctor, we in this election, despite in comparison to the previous elections, we saw that the most of the parties, while having different views, they came to support Ibrahim Raisi.
Okay. Thank you. My next question: what kind of steps will be taken to bring JCPOA, the nuclear deal with the 6+ nations, back on table by the new president?
You know, this actually international agreement is not only the what we can say government agreement between Iran and 6+1. Actually, it was the agreement between Islamic Republic of Iran and the 5+1. So, as the also Dr. Ibrahim Raisi in his election campaigns and lectures, he explicitly stated his status regarding to this issue and said that we will accept this agreement, but it seems that in the tactics of the development of this process, there would be some changes. Actually, he mentioned in his lectures that we need a powerful government behind this agreement to negotiate. It seems that there would be a powerful negotiator from Iranian side in this regarding this agreement.
So you are hopeful that the JCPOA will be bring back to the table and work together with the 5+ nations.
Yeah, you know that the very update news regarding this agreement is that All details have been discussed. Now it is the time of the decision. As the Iranian envoy in this issue, Dr. Arakchi, updated recently. So, and he mentioned that the it is the 5+1 who have to make a decision in this field. It seems that the Iranian side had made a decision, and my prediction is that this agreement would be accepted, but in a way that the other side won't break his commitment in this way.
Of course, yes. So there's unilaterally America break the agreement, and Iran and other nations maybe continue, like European Union and Germany is part of it. And
And
thank you very much. Yeah,
Doctor, that previously also this agreement was signed and accepted by the Iranian side, and it was the United States broken this
agreement.
commitment. So
Yeah.
important is the commitment to the
Yes.
agreement.
Because it's the JCPOA is not just between Iran and America, but with another 5 nations as well. So they have the responsibility as to bring back America to the table, to the negotiation. That's what I understand. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, but that even the European countries, due to the remains of the sanction by the United States, still what they did, it was not very fruitful to the Iran. So because most of the sanctions still was continued by the United States.
Okay, thank you very much. My next question may be very active issue at the moment in Iran and maybe throughout the world. What is the strategy to recover the economy, which is suffered badly due to the crippling sanctions by America and because of the COVID-19? What is the new strategy going to be implemented by the new president?
Actually, Dr. Hanif, due to Iranian economy being under the sanction since 40 years ago, since the very beginning of the Islamic Revolution in Iran, almost 40 years ago. So Iranian economy is mostly a local base. So the international effects actually affect the Iranian economy, but not as much as it affects the other countries, which their economy is more attached to the international in the realm of globe. But Iranian economy is mostly is local. So the effect of the sanction in Iran, that we had very tough sanctions during these 3-4 years, but still our economy was moving forward. So and also from COVID side, I would like to say this as well. Actually, I'm not expert in the field of the economy, but what I think that the plan of the new president in this field would be actually has to be very urgent, because we are getting rid of from the COVID. Actually, now in Iran we are vaccinating. We are starting second round of the vaccination. We hope that by the start of the new president, we will get rid of the COVID, and the new president should have the plan about this. I think one of them would be the increase of the construction in Iran. You know that the construction and house building in Iran is one of the big economy in Iran, and one of the leading economy issue in Iran, and it can change the some of the problems in this field.
And I have to congratulate that Iranian scientist has invented the new vaccine, and I've seen on the news that the supreme leader is taking the vaccine, Iranian vaccine as well. Anyway, congratulations to the people of
That's good.
Iran.
Thank you.
And
Thank
my
you,
last,
doctor. And that's
yeah,
why you know
my,
that other
yeah.
version of the Iranian invented vaccines are coming to the bazaar, and that's why we think that in the future that would be very good news
So,
to the
so,
Iranians.
so, in one way, the sanctions make Iranian to be self-sufficient, to depend on locally and nationally rather than internationally. So that make more Iranian locally inventing things, especially for example, the vaccine and other things. So,
Very true.
uh, yeah, thank you very much. My next and last question is: what is a message to the world in general and to the region in particularly as a new president? Because people expecting some differences from the previous president's policy to new president. So, what is the message to the world
You
and
know
to the
that
region? Yeah.
you know that the supreme leader of Iran stated very explicitly that the foreign policy of Iran is not based on the let's say foreign ministry. Actually, the high centers are making decision about this, and the foreign ministry is executing these policies. So regarding and what we saw recently by the Ibrahim Raisi, we saw that many presidents, particularly the regional countries, welcomed his election. It shows that there is good message for the region and Islamic countries as well as the other countries. And in this election, what was very surprising that many minorities and Sunnis in Iran, as we don't call them the minorities, they came and supported Ibrahim Raisi. It shows that his mottos, his plans, his strategies is to develop the relationship with the other countries as well. And I would like to highlight that despite some phobias some medias are making against his policy, I would like to say that Ibrahim Raisi's action and record of his programs while he was the head of Iranian judiciary section, it shows that he tried to expand the human right, peace, and he was one of the pioneers in this field. So I think that one of the issue of the media today is that to rechange their pre-assumptions regarding his policy. Actually, it is not what is some medias are trying to show that.
Of course, I can understand that media has always put a dark shade on since Islamic Republic was established 1979. Anyway, and the continuously
Just
they
I would
continue.
like to sorry for interrupting.
Yeah,
Just I
yeah,
would
that's
like
okay.
Dr. Ibrahim Raisi, his wife is one of the Iranian prominent professor in Iran in the field of the law, and he is very activist and very paid attention to the women rights and human rights as he is a clergyman, and in the very beginning you mentioned that he is the Sayyid. It seems that he would be traditional, but actually I would like to say that he is very open-minded. That's why his wife is one of the Iranian prominent scholar in Iran.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jahangiri, and we're looking forward to maybe bring you for another show. And once again, to the audience of Hanif Bismi show, thank you for your support, and make sure that we're still on COVID restrictions and follow the guidelines of the Department of Health and New South Wales Health Department. And this election make, even though Iran is going through many obstacles because of the COVID and sanctions and trouble in the region, but still they continuously and successfully conducted the democratic election, which is great achievement as the Islamic Republic of Iran. And once again, thank you to Hanif Bismi show audience and Dr. Jahangiri. Good night.
Thank you, Doctor, for the opportunity. Just at the end, I would like to say that many Iranians abroad try to vote and participate in the elections, but we see that some of the opponents of the Islamic Republic of Iran, they banned them from doing their very right, and that was very sad news we heard during this election. It showed that the Iranians with different culture, different belief, different views, they try to decide regarding their destiny. So it was one of the important I would like to highlight at the end of my interview. Thank you again for the opportunity, and
Thank you very
bye.
much.
Bye.